I got the letter and I said, okay, I have to do this. And I'm trying to prepare my mind, get everything squared away. And I was taking the train home at the time. So I'm sitting there on the train trying to collect my thoughts. I'm crying. I said, this has to be done. I said,
You're crying on the train?
Yeah, I was crying. Nobody wants to do that. That's not a fun thing to say, okay, after 3.5 years, this is over. But it had to be done. So I ended up, I called my parents. I said, hey, I'm going out to see Joy. And I told my mom what was going to happen. So we go out, or I drive out, and I invite her into the room, and I just said, hey, I think this is it. And I was bawling while the whole time while we were breaking up, because it's one of those things you didn't want to do, but it had to be done.
It had to be done.
We just could not grow in a positive light any further in our current capacity.
Yeah.
So we broke up, and that was in September 2011, and I was excited for the first probably month. I was like, yes.
Living life. So the very first day we talked that morning, I was on my way to work. We talked and he was, checking in on me. You okay? And I was like, yeah, I think it was for the best. Everything's fine. I was fine that one day. The day after that, tears. I mean, I would be walking up a stairwell and be like, oh my God. I was devastated.
The ugly, bad.
But I would not contact him, nothing. But I was distraught because it was that thing where going back to when I said there was a knowing, I knew that I was supposed to marry this person. But I also heard it like that. I heard it that he would be my person, but not as he was. He would have to be a different version of himself. And I didn't know that. And I even predicted our breakup. Remember, I predicted our age. I knew, but it did not make the reality any easier. So I was distraught for about the first month.
And men and women have this natural tendency to just flip after breakups. Men, as soon as it's over, let's celebrate, let's go out, let's go on other dates, let's just have fun. And I would be able to live out my dream. And that lasted for about a month. And then the feelings started changing. And when my feelings started changing, she started recovering and said, okay, well, look,
I was like, I'm
single, I'm over him. And we had mutual friends at the time, bless their hearts. There was 3 of them at the time.
That was a lot
Two
of
of
work
my
for
guy
all
friends and one of her female friends. And I literally to this day, bless their heart. Because they're talking to both of us. And I'm, at this point, now I'm starting to feel the wounds of the breakup. I'm like, well, hey, how's Joy doing? Oh, she's fine. well, hell, I don't really like the way that sounds. So we're going back and forth, and I could really just feel it in my spirit that Joy was moving on.
I prayed.
I could feel it.
I told God, I said, I said, give me a sign, because I was praying one night, and I said, give me a sign, because I'm ready to let go. I want to let go, Lord, let me let go. And it wasn't 4 minutes later, I got a text from Justin, and we were not talking. And he said, hey, just wanted to say hi or whatever. And I said, I was just thinking about you. And he said, don't take this along the wrong way, but I had a feeling that you were. And that's all we said.
I just had I was ironing clothes to go on a date. I was getting ready to go on a date, and I had an overwhelming feeling that said, you need to text Joy. I mean, it was a very, I can go exactly to the room where I was standing and take you there. And it was just a strong presence that said, you need to text Joy. And I just said, hey, I'm just checking in. I wanted to say hi. It was a very basic text.
That's all we talked. That's all we said. It wasn't even, So I was like, all right, I guess I'll hold on for a while.
Couldn't even enjoy my date.
Yeah.
Because that happened.
But you found out that I went on a date too, right?
That was after the fact.
Okay. All right.
So I go on this date, and like I said, I couldn't even enjoy the date because I had this strong feeling, and I ended up reaching out to her friend, and I said, where is she at? Where is Joy at? And she said, if you're trying to make this work, you need to strike fast.
Right.
And so now I'm talking to my male friends, like, where's Joy at? Really trying to get something. And I was like, you know what? Let me reach out. And that was October?
That was November. That was November. And then he wrote me an email talking about maybe I didn't understand why he needed to break up. And then I sent him an email right back with all the reasons why he needed to break up. And he was like, oh, so you do understand.
So you fully get what I was trying to do.
Completely understand, yeah.
So I reached out to her in November. I said, hey, can we just meet up for dinner? After work, I just want to talk things through. So we ended up meeting up for dinner, and we probably sat for about 2 hours there and just kind of talked it out, where I was feeling, how she was feeling. And it was a good back and forth. And we go back, I walk her to her car, and I sit in her car and I asked.
No, this was in the booth. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay.
But this was still in the booth, so I was still warming up to him. Do you want to say what you said?
No, you can take it.
So we're sitting in the booth, and he was telling me he missed me and all this stuff, and I'm still getting, like, is he trying to get back together? I'm very confused about what's happening. I mean, I went and I looked nice because I figured maybe, but I didn't know what was going to come of it. And he asked me, as he had just finished his spiel, he said, "Can I kiss you?" Which was like full circle from...
Second time.
Yeah. And I said no, because I wasn't ready yet. I was like, I'm not ready yet. I just wasn't.
And then I walk her to her car.
Yeah.
And I asked her again.
Yeah.
I said, "Can I kiss you?" And she said
like, yeah.
yes. And then once our lips locked, it was done.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. This
Yeah.
is what I'm supposed to do.